I have an exam in, I'm not wearing a watch, 5 hours! 5 hours! And I'm sitting here reading fanfiction for the internet. Priorities. I've compiled a short list of some of the many completely fucked up fanfictions on the internet, and I'ma read them for your enjoyment. I hope you're happy with yourselves. I'm gonna read a SpongeBob and Squidward fanfiction. Yeah, same. SpongeBob woke up to the sound of his usual alarm blaring throughout the house. Good morning, world! SpongeBob jumped out of his bed and ran downstairs, quickly getting ready for the wonderful day ahead of him at the Krusty Krab. Squidward popped his head out of his window. Will you be quiet? I don't want to have to deal with you on Sunday either. That Squidward impression was like 10 out of 10. Can I have an Oscar, please? What do you mean it's Sunday? Squidward sat down on his bed. What am I going to do? Squidward spoke aloud even though there was nobody. Can we just skip to the sex bit now, please? I'm done with this Squidward voice, okay? That was a one-off. What am I going to do? Squidward spoke aloud even though there was no one there. I've been putting up this act of not liking SpongeBob for years, just to cover up the fact that I really love him. I love everything about him. I love hearing his unique laugh. I love when I hand him an order ticket and we touch for half a second. Relate. But I can never have him. Squidward closed his eyes, trying to stop the tears. Emo. Squidward? SpongeBob was in Squidward's doorway. What are you doing here? How much did you hear? SpongeBob looked down to stare at his shoes. I wanted to see if you could play with me because Patrick is busy. I heard everything. Dun dun dun! SpongeBob walked over to Squidward and sat down next to him. He placed his hand on Squidward's hand, sending a shock up Squidward's spine. Sexual. I feel the same. I love you, Squidward. This is my childhood you're messing with here. This is not okay. Pure silence. Until Squidward grabbed SpongeBob and pulled him in for a kiss. SpongeBob's eyes popped open with shock, but when he closed them he realised what was going on. When Squidward pulled away, SpongeBob whispered, barely audible, #NotSpon, more. Squidward obeyed and pulled him closer. Squidward, I want you, I need you. He knelt down and unzipped SpongeBob's square pants and pulled them to one side. SpongeBob pulled Squidward's lips towards him for another kiss. Squidward got on top of SpongeBob and started to rub his bulge against SpongeBob's. Their breathing got heavier. They went faster and faster. Squidward, I think I'm gonna come. Squidward smirked. We can't have that yet, can we? We've only just begun. What? Squidward slid his tentacle into SpongeBob's underwear and grabbed SpongeBob's cock. Squidward started to move his hands slowly at first. SpongeBob's breathing sped up and he started to slightly moan. Squidward held onto SpongeBob's hips and started pumping faster and faster into SpongeBob. SpongeBob was raking his fingernails into the bed. This is getting extreme. Like, is this borderline abuse? It's abuse to my childhood. Squidward took his dick out of SpongeBob and SpongeBob started to suck it. He began to deep throat Squidward's cock and then softly suck on it as Squidward began to come in SpongeBob's mouth. Wow, SpongeBob said, because that was the only word he could find. You know what? Same, SpongeBob. #relate. Squidward looked at SpongeBob. Yeah. Wow.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I feel violated. Let's move on, shall we? Let's move on to something that I'm probably a little bit more familiar with. Not. What? It's a 5-star fan fiction. Yay! So this one is called Mr. Hood, as in Callum Hood. You sat behind your desk and sighed loudly as you got your stuff out of your bag. It was 9 in the morning and you could have gladly stayed in bed. Can I just point out that they spelled stayed wrong? I'm not judging, but just spell check is a thing. You'd have actually skipped it if your teacher, Mr. Hood, wasn't so hot. You usually spent the whole class looking at his mouth, thinking about how plump his lips were. You stared at his fingers, thinking that they could probably work wonders on girls. Don't judge, he might be gay. Could you remind us what happens after the characters leave the castle, please? He questioned. You swirled your pen in your fingers and shrugged. I don't really remember. You lied, not really putting too much effort into it. Did you even read the book? Girl, did you even read the book? Nope, you answered cheekily. Damn, I would not have been that sassy in school, just saying. Sweet, he nodded, his tongue poking out of his mouth, an amused smirk growing on his face. I'll see you after class, young lady, then. Alright, so I'ma skip to the after class bit because that's where all the action happens, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so basically they're alone in the classroom, it's after school, she's having a detention. She's gonna be punished. He laughed darkly and shook his head amused. You're right, he admitted. I'm just going to make sure it doesn't happen again. With that, he took one step towards you, you immediately taking one back, a smirk immediately appearing on his face. Not so sassy now, are we? Whoa! What are you doing? You asked in a breath. What you've always wanted me to do. he answered, before placing a single finger under your chin and lifting your head up to place his lips on yours. He grunted loudly when you bit down on his bottom lip, his fingers soon finding out what kind of underwear you were wearing. "What kind of student wears a thong to school?" he asked, his fingers pulling on it before letting it slap down on your pussy. Nice. "The kind of girl who hopes to be fucked by her teacher." Well, that escalated quickly. Oh! It seemed to send him into another world as he roughly flipped you over so that you were bent over his desk, your skirt barely covering your bare ass. He then leaned over you, pushing his bulge into your backside. He bit down hard on your earlobe, making you cry out. Girl. Call like Childline or something. You heard the noise of a foil package being ripped open. Oi oi. He shoved his length into your wet folds from behind. You cried out, but soon it turned into a moan as he started pounding into you mercilessly. Mercilessly. "Oh God, Mr. Hood," you let out. His hands were roaming all over your back as if he needed to feel your skin against his. It's Callum to you, babe." "Oh, Callum," you moaned as he went deeper into you, reaching some sensitive places inside of you. You just know that, like, a 13-year-old virgin who likes Dan and Phil wrote this. He kissed down your shoulder before pulling your skirt back down to cover your lower part. "Are you okay?" he asked, concerned as if he regretted going so rough on you. "More than okay," you answered, turning around and giving him a smile. "Aw, well that's nice." "We'll be doing that again, right?" he asked, visibly worried. "Of course, Mr. Hood," you answered cheekily, giving him your most innocent face. That's so hot," he breathed under your lips before grabbing a handful of your bum and kissing you passionately one last time. I do love the good happy ever after, you know. Just gonna delete that from my internet history. But unfortunately, I can't delete it from my mind. This video is probably really long and I'm going to read one more, and it's a Dan and Phil fanfiction, so brace yourselves. It's like all one big paragraph. How am I supposed to keep up with this? I've read a few of the dodgy fanfictions, and if you know what I'm talking about by dodgy fanfictions, you know. If you don't know, just don't enquire. One of the ones that I haven't read that was kind of short was Kittens and Steamrollers, and I'm just... the title hurts me already, and we're in for a wild ride. I can see it coming on. Phil shyly walked into his new apartment. He believed Dan wasn't home yet, and it wouldn't be for a few hours. He pulled something small and furry from his green hoodie pocket. Okay, you know it's gonna get dodgy when it's a Dan and Phil fanfiction and they bring out some form of small animal. After a happy jog up the stairs, holding the small cat and breathing in its warm scent, he sneaked into his bedroom with his new furry friend. Oh, cute. Okay, this is okay. I can deal with this. This is fine. I'm okay. Phil looked into the kitten's beautiful, big, round eyes, the size of buttons that were staring confused at him. Phil smirked, the corner of his mouth hitching slightly as he carried on admiring the animal. This continued until Phil noticed his black jeans getting tighter. Oh. Phil started taking short, sharp breaths as he finally succumbed to his urges and unfastened his now far too skinny jeans. His huge, hard member almost popped out of his checkered boxers, and his eyes rolled into the back of his head. Okay. He heard a loud groan coming from the bathroom upstairs. Upon hearing the noise, Phil yanked up his jeans, not caring too much about his awfully hard length, and then ran up the stairs 2 by 2. His eyes landed upon the bathroom. He was no longer hard and sexually frustration. Upon approaching the bathroom, he was overcome with a stench that made his throat burn with vomit. Pinching his nose and swallowing back bile, Phil shuffled towards the bathroom, his gaze landing upon an aroused Dan, smothering his own feces all over his naked body. "Fuck, Phil!" the younger male squeaked. He tried to cover himself up, but his hands were dripping with 50 shades of brown excreta. What? I wasn't prepared for this. Phil slipped out of his dark jeans, pulling his animated character shirt over his head and letting it drop to the floor, before picking up Dan's llama hat, which has been discarded on the floor, and put it on his head. He cheekily winked at Dan. Dan yanked the boy down. Okay, they're gonna have sex now, that's okay. His penis became violently erect. Phil suppressed a loud moan, his head falling backwards, so he met the cat's gaze fully. He stared into the cat's emerald eyes. The tanned boy looked up at Phil with almost an innocent gaze. Simultaneously began to unscrew a bottle of laxatives. I'm triggered. Dan got out of the bath and in the process smothered feces all over the floor. Smiling to himself, he took off his llama hat and pushed Phil to the floor. Phil groaned and looked down at Dan. Phil almost couldn't hold it anymore. Dan grabbed Phil's thighs and parted them. He placed the llama hat below Phil's anus and pushed down on Phil's abdomen to gently ease the feces out of him. Well, okay then. Dan pushed the hat firmly on Phil's head so the fecal matter squelched out on sides and clumps of it tangled inside of Phil's hair and dripped down his naked body and onto the bathroom floor. Okay. Goodbye, cruel world. I'm sorry, I can't read any more of that because I will probably throw up in my mouth. That was intense. I feel like I need to lie down. What's that smell? Oh, it's regret. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, and if you did, that says a lot about you. If you did, you can let me know by leaving a cheeky thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, not like this one because this will never happen again, I promise you, then subscribe down below. Just click the subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, yay. And thank the Lord that is it for this video, and I will see you guys next time with another one. Okay, bye now. Sorry for scarring you, bye.